Popular Culture Research Team. How can we help you? And back joining us in the studio for the first episode of Popular Culture Research Team of 2026 is Yujin. Hello to you.
Hi guys, happy Friday and happy New Year!
Happy New Year. Yujin, we're talking about D.
D.
Which D are you?
Oh, I'm a pig.
She's a pig.
I like that.
Pigs and tigers go well together. Mm-hmm. My son's a pig. You're the golden pig. And I like golden pig.
Oh.
Hope he gets rich. But any plans for the New Year's? You have a New Year's resolution?
Oh, I have an important plan.
Oh, yeah?
A resolution.
What?
Yeah, we all talk about resolution. It's like embarrassing and kind of weird, but getting a driver license.
Oh, getting a driver's license?
Yeah, I haven't got it.
Okay.
Yes.
How?
I am like... 30? I was born in 1995.
95?
So, like, in Korean age, like 32.
You know, I must have gotten my driver's license around that time, too.
Really?
I got it late.
Oh, you too?
I got it late.
Oh.
But age doesn't matter.
Like traffic, like transportation service is very good in Seoul, right?
Yeah, that's why you don't really need it. Mm-hmm. But, you know... there's some good that comes out if you do have a car.
And also F1 did give
a lot
of influence to me.
Oh, that's why. Don't drive like F1 drivers, Eugene.
I won't do that.
Don't do that.
Of course, I don't want to die.
Well, anyways, I hope you get that. It's not too hard. It's not too hard, but
really?
you know, if you like driving can be very stressful and fun at the same time. Okay. We're gonna go into a new drama.
Right. Yeah.
I'm so
Super
excited. I'm so excited because we went from one of my favorite dramas with Reply 1988 to now my favorite recent drama.
Oh, yeah, right.
What is our drama for the new year?
Okay, so we're going to introduce a show that reflects the reality of Korea too well. So if you are an office worker or a breadwinner, you could relate to the story. And the title is The Dream Life of Mr. Kim. So in Korean, 서울 자가의 대기업 다니는 김 부장 이야기. So if we direct translate it to English is like the story of general manager Mr. Kim who has a house in Seoul and works at a large conglomerate.
Yes.
So it's a recent drama that aired late last year dealing with the work life and family struggles of a typical Korean man in his 50s.
I mean, the title itself is odd, but it really depicts what everyone wants to be.
Right.
Have their own home in Seoul.
Mm-hmm. So
work in a conglomerate.
Right.
It's intense, it's unique, it's Korea.
Right. So most Koreans would immediately think like, wow, that guy made it. Because every single word in that title is a symbol of success in Korea. So let me break it down. So first, owning a house in Seoul. So as you know, housing prices in Seoul are insane. So owning your own place in Seoul basically means financial stability, security, and success.
Yes.
Second, working in a large conglomerate. So in Korea, big companies represent like stability and a guaranteed life. And finally, general manager or 부장. So in the Korean corporate letter, like a social letter, that's a pretty high-ranking position. So you're near the top, just one step away from becoming an executive. So on paper, this sounds like the definition of a successful life.
Yeah, so I mean, he works for a company called ACT.
ACT.
And so it could be like either KT
or
like
SKT.
Or SKT. It's one of like the telecommunication
thing, right?
Companies, which is a major company. For me, I first read the webtoon.
This is based on webtoon.
This was based on a webtoon, and when I found out that they came out with a drama, I said, "Oh my goodness, I found a drama I'm gonna watch." Because I never watch dramas. It does a great job for our listeners out there. The webtoon and the drama so far, it's on par. There's some differences, but it's on par. But would you say that Mr. Kim, Kim 부장님, is meant to represent Korean men in their late 40s or early 50s?
Definitely. So he represents a generation that grew up during Korea's rapid economic growth in the 1980s and 90s. So they were the first generation to receive a proper higher education after the Korean War. So they survived insanely competitive college entrance exams and became the backbone of Korea's economic boom. And for them, life followed a very clear formula. It's study hard, get into a good university, join a major company, buy a home, support a family.
Yeah. I mean, even if you like in the intro of the drama, it really shows you what the cycle of Koreans, what they want to be, right? And so if you check it out, I mean, it's hard to read Korean if you can't read Korean, but it's a cycle of every Korean, what they aspire to be.
Right.
But we got to get into this character. Mr. Kim.
Mr. Kim.
Because he is the main character. Although they will delve into other characters in this drama, but he's the main character who appears in the drama, and this is based on his story.
Right. So the main character's name is Kim Nak-soo.
Yes.
But everyone calls him Mr. Kim at work. So he works at a huge telecom company called ACT, as we mentioned before, and he's the head of Sales Team 1. And he's been with the company for 25 years. He's skilled, experienced, and good at what he does. But here's the problem. He is full of anxiety. He constantly compares himself to others, never wants to show weakness, and lives in fear of falling behind. So in many ways, he's painfully realistic. And around him, we see his wife and son. And at work, there's Mr. Baek, the executive he wants to become, and Mr. Do, his biggest rival, and Mr. Ha, a close colleague of Mr. Kim.
Yeah, and so like rivalry within the company is like there's a lot of things in there that Yujin isn't gonna delve into for its time restraint. But there was this one thing because you mentioned Mr. Do.
Mr. Do.
He's younger than him,
Right.
so he's a junior, but they're in the same level. But there was one thing I don't know if you caught this because I know you watched this in the first episode because we're delving into episode 1 and 2.
Right.
There's an issue. A scene where Mr. Kim he does a big power move.
Oh.
You know what the power move is? They're in the bathroom, right? So Mr. Do is standing in a urinal.
Okay.
So I don't want to get into too much details, but the mannerism is if there are many urinals and one person is standing in one,
Okay.
you skip one and you use the other one.
Okay.
So that there is like a space between. You never stand next to another person if there's like empty urinals.
Is that kind of manner?
Yes, it's manner.
Okay.
But Mr. Do is standing already. Mr. Kim comes in, right? And he stands right next to him and urinates. That's power move. That's basically saying I'm above you and I am not uncomfortable to be doing this right next to you.
Oh.
It's crazy power move, this guy.
Is this like a man thing?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Got it.
And I get
That's interesting.
Yes. I'm not going to say who.
Okay.
I'm not going to say who in ARIRANG.
So he's upset.
He's not here anymore.
Okay.
But someone pulled that
Okay.
power move on me.
Oh.
And I was upset.
Power move.
No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, we're going to continue to talk about all the cultural hidden cultural elements within this drama. But we're back in the studio for Popular Culture Research Team. And this month, we're doing the dream life of Mr. Kim's 서울 자가의 대기업 다니는 김 부장 이야기. And we have to talk about the characters too.
Right.
Mr. Kim, or Kim Nak-soo, right, Kim 부장님, is a well-known actor.
Right. My favorite actor, Ryu Sung-ryong. So you can see the photo right away, right?
Oh my goodness! And he's come out in a lot of movies in the past. The Miracle in Room 9, right?
Oh.
Also, he comes out in 극한 직업. What is that?
극한 직업.
극한 직업. When he's a police and he does a chicken shop, right? 명세빈
And his wife.
plays the wife.
Kim Boo-jang's wife.
Right, and their family members have actually a big role
That's true.
in the drama. He has a son.
Yeah, the actor's name is Cha Kang-yoon.
This is a son. And he has another major role that sort of like talks about the struggles of a Korean student.
Student, right?
Right.
College student.
Right, and then you have like we have like other minor characters here and there, right?
Right.
Yoo Sung-mook and then Lee Shin-gi.
Right.
Lee Se-won.
백상무, 도진우.
But
right.
but again, I feel like the family is the most important for now here. But looking at the title, Mr. Kim Nak-soo,
Yeah.
Kim 부장님, really it seems to have a successful life, right? Like he has everything that people dream of. But you're still at the same time, you're saying he's a very anxious person.
He is. So Mr. Kim is someone who constantly compares himself to others and deep down, he believes he has to be number one. So it actually stems from his childhood. For example, when he was young, he was elected like a vice class president, like 부반장. So now for a kid, being vice class president at school is a big deal because it means your classmates voted for you and you have like leadership skills. But when he goes home to tell about it, the reaction is so cold because his older brother was always number one at school. And all he heard was, okay, vice president, that's it? And in that moment, he realizes a brutal truth that this society only remembers the first place.
And that's like the first sort of like Korean thing that comes out is the 반장, 부반장 thing, right?
반장, 부반장.
Class president and vice president. Have you ever run for stuff like that?
Yeah, always.
You've always run.
I don't want to brag it, but always won.
Okay, now.
Thankfully.
Did you win?
Yeah.
How many times were you class president?
I cannot count because I cannot exactly remember it.
That
but
many times?
Over 4 or 5.
Oh,
I don't
wow.
want to brag it.
You were always
Thanks, guys.
You were always the 반장, not the
always.
부반장.
Always, not always.
Okay.
But
were you upset? Were you upset when you became the
not
부반장?
at all.
You know why? Because he runs, right? Because he was upset.
A little bit.
It was a race between two people, two students, and one kid got so much more votes, and he's the 반장 or the class president. But because he lost to him, you automatically become 부반장, which means you're automatically 부반장.
Right.
And everyone only cares about the 반장, who's the class president, and that's why even though he wasn't happy first, but all of his friends were like, oh, high five, like you still became the vice president. That's why he was so happy, and he ran to his house, and his brother is like,
oh, that's it?
You're happy because you became the vice president? And that's Korea. Never finished second.
I don't know if it's like this, like 부반장 or 반장, but there's like 봉사위원 now. Like not not like 부반장 or 반장. There's
a volunteer committee?
Something like that. Volunteer committee, like maybe 6 or 7 봉사위원 because like the school didn't want to get the environment which is very fierce. So I think that's why we don't have 반장 or 부반장.
They got rid
anymore.
of that.
For me, yeah.
Wow. Oh, so they called.
So when I was in elementary school.
So you were part of that committee then? Mm-hmm. Wow, I didn't know that. Because even when I was in Korea, I mean, it was like, kindergarten. I only went to kindergarten. Well, we had a 반장 every day. We had to pick a new 반장 every day. But it was such a big deal back in the days where the parents used to bribe to get their kid to be the 반장, the president.
Always happened.
It was such a big deal. I don't know why.
That's because maybe there's no more like 반장 or 부반장.
Wow, they got rid of this. I did not know.
It happened in my hometown.
Okay. I mean, I think it makes sense, right? It makes sense because of like the competition and how people might be, going overboard to be president and stuff like that. But again, this is a very heartbreaking reality of Korean culture.
True.
Where finishing first is all everyone aims for. It's never, second or third place. But the obsession with being first, again, it was more intense back then.
Back then, right, it was. There was even a popular saying back then, like, only first place matters in this dirty world. 1등만 기억하는 더러운 세상.
Yeah.
So you could see, like, Olympic athletes crying because they only won a silver medal. And it was an era where the result meant everything, and effort didn't count if you were not on top. So Mr. Kim grew up in a system where second place meant failure. So in that sense, he's somewhat of a victim of this hyper-competitive society where everyone is always pushed to look upward.
And then he brings that to his household when he grows up.
Right.
Because his son goes to the Y University, Yonsei University, which is often considered as like the second best university in Korea. And then he goes, hey, does your friends, like you and your friends kind of like talk around and go, if I studied harder, I would have went to Seoul National University. And then they're like, no, we're really happy to be in this school. And he's like, really? Right? So like, again, you should be very happy that you went to such a good university in Yonsei. But for him, it's like that second place. And he does that to his kid. Gosh. And that mindset ends up affecting his work life too.
Yeah, 100%. So on the surface, he's a general manager at a major corporation, very impressive, but to him, it's not enough. So in his mind, a general manager is still not first place. So he becomes obsessed with becoming an executive or 상무. Then there's even a scene where he secretly sits in an executive's office chair when there's nobody in that room, just to imagine himself there. But here's something you have to understand. In many Korean corporations, if you spend decades at a company but never make it to an executive position, you are often pushed aside or even fired. So his anxiety came from reality. And there's even a tragic storyline where his close colleague, Mr. He, he's also like general manager, gets demoted to a factory manager and he attempts suicide because of that. That's how much weight a job title carries in Korean society.
So I had to learn this from, our producer and our writers because I've never worked in the Korean corporates, right? And I was always like, man, you got already to bujang, You're already a general manager. I mean, you should be happy with that. But again, you have to make that next jump to be an executive.
Right.
And if you can't make that jump, you're basically getting pushed out because, other people need to come up.
Right.
Right from the
That's
bottom.
That's a reality, like a ladder.
And so where do you go if you can't go above what you have? Well, you're going to get pushed off to like jobs that you don't want. You're going to go to all these like factories located like 5 hours away and little things. And then you end up feeling like you lost everything. And eventually they force you to kind of quit is what it is. And I was like, oh man, I didn't see that. I didn't know it was that hard. But he is the head of Team 1.
Sales Team 1.
Sales Team 1. Let's talk about how the younger team members see Mr. Kim.
So to be honest, they see him as a 꼰대, like an older people who believes they're always right.
Yep.
He like micromanages everything. I'm talking about like checking the font size and line spacing on reports. So that is real part of Korean corporate culture. I've experienced it too. So your report gets rejected because the spacing is off by 1 millimeter. And there's also a coffee episode. So the team secretly meets for a coffee before work without him because being around him is uncomfortable. And when he says like, I'll buy you guys coffee, let's go, to his team members, he doesn't take them to the coffee shop. He makes instant mixed coffee in the office pantry. So to him, it's like kindness, but to them, it's like, this guy is really 꼰대.
Yeah, basically he goes like they hide their cup as they're coming into the office and they see them. And he's basically going, why are young people paying money for coffee when we have free coffee in the...
He cannot understand
Right.
it.
And so like that's the big 꼰대 thing, right? The young kids these days spending money on coffee when you could get it for free. And then later on, he goes, I'll buy you guys coffee, like for real. And then they're like, are
really?
you quitting? Are you quitting? Or like, he's gone wild, right? But again, seeing how he clashes with the younger employees, you can kind of guess that his relationship with his son isn't great neither.
Right. So to Mr. Kim, his son is basically a trophy. The son goes to a prestigious university, so Mr. Kim treats him like a trophy he can brag about to his friends. So he expects his son to follow in his footsteps, like get an internship at the same company, like climb the ladder. So he thinks like, I can pave the road for you. But the son wants none of it. He doesn't want to live like his father, chasing like titles. He values his own freedom and choices, and it's the same with his wife. She's exhausted by his ego and his self-centered worldview. So Mr. Kim survives both at work and home through authority, not based on connection. And that's what makes this drama so bittersweet. This drama is the story of a generation shaped by competition, fear, and survival.
So basically, I mean, this is very Korean in that everything that he was lacking, he puts it on his family, right? And so because he knows that, being second place was no good when he was growing up, he doesn't want his son to be second place.
Right.
He has this 꼰대 mentality that you have to work in a conglomerate, be like me, because I'm a successful story, that my son has to do the same thing. And he forces him to be part of like the internship.
Right.
But his son doesn't want to do any of that stuff. And
Not at all.
it gets to the point where his family is almost like they have to clap for him. you know? Wow, 아빠 최고다, right? Like, oh, dad's the best, right? And then like because he even goes like, what is it? They talk about, he brags about the real estate, the house, and he goes, if it wasn't for me, you guys would not be living in this house that I bought.
Especially in Seoul.
Right, in Seoul. But then like his wife and his son, they do like a stare because they remember it was his wife that wanted to buy the apartment.
Right.
And he was like, the real estate is going to collapse. Are you crazy? I'm never going to buy this.
Oh, he was wrong.
Yeah, he was wrong. And again, that whole 꼰대 mentality is there with Mr. Kim.
Right.
We're going to continue to talk about all the hidden cultural elements within this drama. Great drama. Again, we're talking about a drama that I've recently really, really enjoyed based on a very popular webtoon as well, The Dream Life of Mr. Kim. Let's talk about some moments in the drama. Again, we're talking about episode 1 and 2, right? For the first week that you think our listeners might find especially interesting or maybe even confusing.
Okay, so since this drama is so deeply rooted in Korean office culture, I think there are quite a few scenes that might feel unfamiliar. Especially there are some moments that really show how hierarchical Korean workplaces can be.
Yeah.
So first, there's the sleeper versus formal shoes scene.
Yes.
You know this, right? So Mr. Kim is walking around the office in sleepers, which is actually like pretty normal in Korean offices. But the moment he's about to meet his superior, Mr. Bak, he quietly changes into formal dress shoes. So that scene is very symbolic because in Korean society, especially at work, how you present yourself to your boss matters a lot. I mean, your clothes, your posture, even how you walk. So you might think, why does it matter at what shoes he wears? But that tiny detail shows the pressure of the hierarchy culture here.
He's so mean to his underlings, his juniors, but when it comes to his bosses, he sucks up like none other. And that's Korean culture. That's Korean office culture for you.
That's the reality.
I mean, he's willing to do everything for this guy. Everything. If he says something, he's jotting down everything that he's saying. And if he yells at him, he goes, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Like he's so different in front of Mr. Peck to how he is to his teammates who are younger than him. And that, again, I mean, that's Korean office. Not in all offices, but, most offices are like that. Very subtle but intense. What else is there?
Okay, so you cannot talk about Korean office life without talking about coffee culture. So in Korea, how people drink coffee at work tells you a lot about the organization. There's a scene where Mr. Kim says to his team, let's go get some coffee. But he doesn't literally mean let's relax and enjoy coffee. So in Korea, going for a coffee often means an informal meeting or a moment where you have to read the boss's mood. The drama even shows them going up to the rooftop, drinking instant coffee, of course, and basically holding an informal meeting there. That's incredibly realistic.
I wish our producer would say something like that. You know what our producer tells me? 진실의 방 가자.
That's true. That's true.
Let's go to the room of truth. That's his way of saying let's go for coffee. For our listeners out there, this is a joke, but the room of truth is what the police used to say when they need to interrogate somebody, and they turn off the cameras, and then they use force to get the truth out of the person does. So that's called the room of truth. Wow. And our producer, he goes, let's go to the room of truth. And I go, okay, coffee talk. That's his way of saying coffee talk. He doesn't beat me, guys. He doesn't beat me. But yes, instead of having our coffee stuff, we have our own ways of talking about this. Yujin, you have worked in a Korean company before.
Right.
But the Let's Go Coffee thing, is it really like this?
Totally depends on the company. You can tell a lot about workplace culture just by how coffee is handled. So in one company I worked at, after lunch, the entire team had to go for a coffee together, and it wasn't optional. There was basically no personal time, and if you skipped it, people noticed it. So coffee wasn't a break, it was an obligation. But at another company, someone would casually say coffee break, and then we would go out during work hours, play rock, scissors, papers, and whoever lost would buy coffee, and we chat and then go back to work. In that case, coffee really was a refresh and a way to build teamwork.
Hey, Yujin, I got a question. This is actually a question that our producer posted up, and I'm very curious too. Also, in corporate life, when you have something
to
serious to talk about, right? you go like, let's go out for a smoke.
Oh.
Right? So you go out for a smoke. That's if like they smoke. Even if they don't smoke, like they'll just go like, let's go out for a smoke. But that's a guy thing. Mm-hmm. What do women do?
Women do? We always have coffee.
Oh, you just say, let's go out for coffee?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Let's talk for a while drinking coffee. Like
okay.
that.
Not like, let's redo our makeup? No. Nothing like that?
No.
Oh, he also said, what if there's no coffee? What do you do? Let's go drink water. I don't know.
Water? No.
Whatever.
Maybe having time after work.
Wait, where do you guys talk? Because
there's a cafeteria. Oh.
No, because like for guys, every company is like a smoking area.
Oh, okay.
Where do
for my the company that I worked for, there was a like specific cafeteria in the company.
Oh.
So there was a sofa, chair, table, everything.
Okay. Oh, so you went to a lounge to talk?
Yeah, kind of lounge.
But then like, wouldn't people be there too? A lot of people.
So we have to see before we talk.
See if like anybody's empty. Okay. Sounds like something illegal. No, it's not. There's nothing illegal about that. There's nothing illegal about that.
The room of truth.
Any other Korean cultural moments that might surprise our listeners?
I think the obsession with apartment prices, that's a big one.
Yeah.
And there's a scene where Mr. Kim finds out that his rival lives in a luxury apartment in Gangnam.
Yes.
And the first thing he does is looking up the apartment's market price.
That was so Korean.
That's a real Korean thing. So in Korea, housing is almost a measure of your social status and success. So people care a lot about where someone lives, how much their apartment costs, and even how much debt they have. So it's actually not uncommon for a boss to ask an employee whether they rent, own, or live on a lease. I have experienced it before too. And based on where you live, people often make assumptions about your income, your career level, even your life success.
Yeah, because they're going to go golfing on the weekend with a company that they need to work together with. And he goes, Mr. Beck goes, pick me up at my place.
Right.
But also his rival, Mr. Do, lives in the same apartment area.
In Gangnam.
And then it comes out, he goes, he probably lives in Jeonse. And then Jeonse was like $3 million. And then later on, he finds out that he owns it. And the owning was like $6 million. And he's like, he could not think of anything. He couldn't even play golf. He was just like, $6 million. $6 million.
He's owning his own place.
He owns a $6 million apartment.
In Gangnam.
And like he just goes off.
Right.
But I want to mention something that comes out. I think this is maybe like a very Korean thing when they go golf. And then Mr. Kim, miraculously, even though in his mind all he thinks about is Mr. Do's apartment, he does a hole-in-one.
Right.
And then after he does hole-in-one, Mr. Beck says, you have insurance, right? Do you know what that means?
Because I don't play golf.
In Korea, if you do a hole-in-one, it's actually both a blessing and a curse. Because it's a curse because it's tradition to buy everyone a meal. Uh-huh. It's tradition to tip the caddies. And you have to he ends up being forced to buy a golden golf ball, which costs another like 1,000 something.
That's a curse.
So nowadays in Korea, there's a thing called hole-in-one insurance.
Oh.
So if you pay into this insurance and you get a hole-in-one, the insurance company gives you a large sum of money that you could use to buy meals for everybody.
But he didn't have insurance, right?
He didn't, because who thinks that they're going to get a hole-in-one? Right?
That's a miracle.
And so he ends up spending thousands of dollars because he got the hole-in-one.
No.
But very quickly here, this is a dream that... not dream. It's a drama that really portrays the dreams of everyone else, but not really, right? Rounding things out here, what's the key viewing point for this drama, do you think?
I think the key is that the show doesn't describe Mr. Kim as a simple villain. Of course, to someone, he's an annoying boss, a suffocating father, or a difficult husband, but he isn't a failure. He is someone who has been made by the fierce competition of Korean society.
Yeah.
And that makes you ask yourself, too, if I were in his shoes, would I be any different?
Yeah, exactly. This is, again, it's very Korean. It shows you so much about Korea's society. And because I've seen both the webtoon and the drama, the webtoon actually goes into more details about some of the other characters and delves into it even more. So today we talked about episodes 1 and 2. Next week we're going to go 3 and 4. Right? And there's so much more that we'll talk about next week. Eugene's, Thank you as always.
Thank you.
Have a safe rest of your night, and we'll see you again next Friday.
Okay, see you next Friday. Bye.